It's that time of the year again. It's time for the Gone with the Wind Awards, 2021/2022 year? It's the third annual one, regardless, and now is the time to get your nominations in. Thanks to our pals at Google. Not sponsored, I just used Google for this. But I'll be dropping the link down below for you all to vote, and tell us your thoughts on what is the best of this crazy year that we've had. I'm looking forward to hearing them. But this is the official announcement of the Gone with the Wind Awards, third annual. So basically everything from last year, from let's say The Invisible Man, to the end of this year, such as I Care a Lot. Something along those lines should give you a better representation. Thank you all again, and I can't wait to see your votes for the Gone with the Wind Awards.
He's looking at you, kid. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
I'll have what she's having.
Boss will be with you, always.
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Grab out those Oscar predictions, because we are one step closer to the award season of the 93rd. Wait, is it 94th or 93rd?
93rd.
Cue the music. Hey everybody, welcome to the manic energy of Gone with the Wind. I'm drinking coffee right now, so periodically you're going to hear a sip like this. Wow, I hope you love that sound. You're going to hate it. Don't worry, I'm going to mute myself every other time that I'm taking a sip of my coffee. I took an unexpected nap today, but hey, anyway, welcome to Gone with the Wind, the show about award shows where we talk about, you guessed it, award shows. I'm your host, Manning Franks, and I'm here with a bevy of panelists today, the full stacked cast. We got all the way from New Zealand, waking up from daylight saving, so he's especially early today. We have Malcolm.
Hello.
I'm so sorry. I did not know it was daylight savings time. We're recording this on a Saturday instead because tomorrow is Sunday. Hopefully I'll have this up by then. If not, I'll have it up by the regular Tuesday time. We'll see how things start to play out. But also with it, we have Mr. AF. I love how you always change names almost every time we have something in the little corner. But we have Abe.
I was like that last week, if I am not mistaken, because I did not change my name.
Were you AF? I don't think you were AF. Were you AF?
Brown Flores. Makes sense, man.
It does make Abe Flores. Yeah, you're right. And also above him, we have someone who's a longer name than AF. We have Dan Skip Allen.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, we got some good things to talk about. It's nice when you have an episode and you discuss something, and then between the next episode, you could discuss what you talked about on the last episode because some things have changed. That's always fun.
That's something, and we're going to start with that, but we're going to start with one thing. Actually, I lied. We're not going to start with that. Other than I know the Oscars were, of course, listening to our podcast that hadn't even aired yet. So somehow they heard everything that we were talking about, and they made their changes to the actual show. But we'll talk about that in a second. First off, I want to talk about the thing that has the cultural zeitgeist all around us right now. Something that I know people are talking about, whether quality aside, just the fact that we have something back. We have a movie back in the theaters. While most of us may not have been able to see it because theaters are not completely open, a lot of us were able to, and it is on track for a good box office haul, which I completely forgot to get. I'm going to go look at that right now. But in the meantime, Godzilla versus Kong, make sure that we get that all right out there, released today, or I believe March 31st on, which is about 3 days ago, on HBO Max, same day as theaters. Now, some people may not have access to it until, may have gotten it yesterday. They may have gotten it before all of that. But either way, most of us on the panel, besides Malcolm, have seen it. And I'm going to start off by saying, Malcolm, you did not miss really anything too much. And you are completely okay, because I want to make this quick one as quick as possible just to give our quick thoughts on it. And I'm going to designate someone else to start off because I'm going to look at these box office numbers right now. So we're going to start off with the first person who got on the call, and that's Dan. Dan, you had some... Well, when we talked about it, you gave me a negative when we talked about it last. So what was that? And tell me a little more about what you think of Kong versus Godzilla versus Kong. Why is it so hard to get the other thing right? Because the G comes before the K.
We like Kong better than Godzilla. That's probably the reason why. Yeah, I'll tell you what. The title basically gives it away. It's Godzilla versus Kong. There's 3 battles in the movie, and they're epic battles. There's some great battling. When these 2 epic characters, apex predators, are battling, It's fantastic. The problem is the people. The people and the most contrived, ridiculous plot you can think of takes up about half the movie. And thank God this is the shortest of the Godzilla and Kong movies in this franchise, because
it flies by.
If this thing went any longer, it would have just been like ridiculous, because it has some of the most ridiculous plot, and the people are so bad. If you didn't need the people, I would wish we could just get rid of the people, but then the movie would be like a half hour of Kong fighting Godzilla in 3 different locations, and you can't have a movie. You could, have Oscar shorts that are a half hour or whatever, but yeah. So I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, just because of the epic battles, and the villain that they battle is really cool, but just everything else is just ridiculous. And you can find my review at disappointmentmedia.com, or no, my bad, from the 4th row at wordpress.com.
I'm not going to take that out. I'm going to leave it right in because we're all natural. But okay, I'm going to give my thoughts real fast. Abe, I know you also have seen it, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts, because I think we all might be in the same boat.
Okay, this movie is kind of underwhelming. And as Dan said, the human characters are really boring. I did not know what was happening with that plot the whole time. I was like, when is the monkey and the lizard going to fight? And, everybody's talking about the fights. Everything I see on Twitter, sure, they're good. But I said it last week, and I'll dive with it. This movie lacks scale. And I'm going to tell you what I mean. When you have these 2 big things fighting, you want to see how massive they are. And you may say, oh, well, they're next to a giant boat or aircraft carrier or a city landscape. Yes, you can have that. Well, the Power Rangers shows also have that. Like, the monsters fighting when they get big, and the Megazord and everything. And they do not look big. This is not shot like a... It's something that... what's the name of the director from Kong Skull Island? And the guy from Godzilla. I don't remember their names.
The first one was Gareth Edwards. I know that, but I don't know.
Yeah, Gareth Edwards. That guy knows how to shoot scale. Like, when you see Godzilla, you got the sense of this thing is massive. And I never got that from that film, and it was something I was waiting for. They look like Power Rangers characters fighting.
Jordan.
And that's the thing that bothered me the most. Sure, it looks cool. The lighting is cool. The sound is cool. The score is pretty fine. Everything looks pretty good. I was excited watching it. But at the end, it never felt cinematic. Never did.
Yeah, I mean...
And something has been bothered me for a while now. And it's the only thing I remember, because I don't remember anything from the human characters.
Nope, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Dan, what were we going to say?
No, Kong Skull Island director is Jordan Vogt Roberts. No, I agree with Abe. I mean, first of all, why would you have them fighting on the water? That to me doesn't make any sense. You can have these 2 guys battling on an aircraft. Who come up with that? To me, that was ridiculous. But whatever.
So now it's time for my thoughts on the matter. And from what you're getting a kind of a consensus of this movie was underwhelming. Is it a bad movie? No, it's an entertaining film. I want to give it its pluses, that I think if this was seen in a theater, I would have liked it a lot more, because I love those last 30 minutes where it's just complete bananas fun. I think it's actually incredibly well choreographed fights. While they do lack scale, they're inventive, they are fun, they are pretty to look at, and they just scream, wow, this is epic on a scale of just, destruction. It was like I was watching a video game. Is what it was. Like an old like a kid was playing with his toys, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it was an active choice. And the director did an amazing job trying to portray and come up with inventive ideas that the camera could do, moves that the Godzilla and Kong could find themselves in. And I think every time they were on screen, I was like, okay, this is great. This is awesome. My favorite will always, in this MonsterVerse series, is always going to be the first Godzilla. Is it the best movie ever? No, but there was something about it. You're right, Abe. You had an amazing sense of scale. And there's that one scene where he's in the airport and you see his foot crash that airplane and it just pans up and you see the scale. We never had that in this one. But maybe by that token, they saw, okay, we've set all those up. We know how big they are. We're just going to get right into the action. I wish they took more time. I wish they took time away from the characters because I really did not like any of these characters whatsoever. I didn't. Okay, I take that back. Rebecca Hall and I guess the little girl, is that her daughter? They never really was that her daughter.
I think she's one of those Indians from Skull Island. I think they something happened to that race of people, and she was like a little girl from them. I believe. I could be wrong.
I know. I need to look into that, and I need to actually look. Every time that she interacted with Kong, those are the highlights. Every time that the people interacted with the creatures, that was the highlight. I could care less what happens to Alexander Skarsgård and Demian Bichir, everything, who was just a horrible villain. And I'm not going to give away spoilers, but there is some great character designs of certain monsters that we do not see. I think it was really cool designs, and I think it was a very pretty movie to look at. These Monsterverse movies are always beautiful to look at. They have an amazing color palette. You can look at these and be like, wow, this is shot so well. This is such a wasted opportunity on a story. Why are we with these human characters? Because none of the human characters, I'm not sure. I think the ensemble was too big. I think they took too much time trying to make this a bigger ensemble, which I guess they're trying to bring two stories together. But I just kind of would love it if the little girl was there with Kong and you had maybe Rebecca Hall is there as well. And maybe you found an excuse to have Damian Bichir doing his villain thing. And you brought back Millie Bobby Brown, who is she a conspiracy theorist along with Brian Tyree Henry now? Because I'm over here like, why are we bringing Bleach into this, guys?
And why? What was the point of Kyle Chandler this time around?
No, he was just a walk-on. Yes, Abe?
Was Millie Bobby Brown in the last one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
She was in the
You know, that's how much I care about these movies. They have Godzilla and Kong fighting, and I don't remember the people. I remember Kyle Chandler, but was Millie Bobby Brown in the last one? I do not remember.
Oh, yeah.
She was. She was the one who was like, "We love Godzilla. We stan a king."
And they
She was Cole Chandler's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, who is it?
So that's why they had Kyle Chandler this time around, because if the little girl is running around with the conspiracy theorist podcaster guy, if a parent is going to be concerned, so we have to have a parent being concerned what happened to his daughter. So basically, but yeah, when they destroyed Fenway Park in the last one, I was not happy. So I'm not happy with the franchise as a whole.
No, I think it's very the franchise that I've seen. It's very there's not a lot of dimension to it. It is very cut and dry. Here it is, which I think is fine. But I feel like it tries to walk that line between that we're trying to say something, but we're also just kind of being a fun. Pick something, and figure out what you are. Because looking back now, I love that first Godzilla movie a lot more for what it was, and I think maybe, and I haven't seen, was it Shin Godzilla? I've not seen that one, but I heard a lot of people say is really good. Dan, you think it's good?
Yeah, it is good. And I'll tell you right now, Manny, I don't remember if I told you this, but definitely check out Godzilla if you haven't on 4K. It's on Vudu. You can buy it in 4K, rent it for like $4 or $5. Oh my God! It brings so much more light to the regular Godzilla because it was so dark the first time. Now, it's even better than it was back then. And it was good back then, but it wasn't great because of the darkness. Now, if you see the new 4K version of it, oh God, so much better. And how about I love it how the Ken Watanabe character, his son is trying to get revenge for his father died. His father died to save the
Wait, that's his son?
Yeah. He died to save the planet. There's no need for revenge. I don't know why they put that in the plot.
You see, that completely went over my head. See how much attention to detail they gave in this movie? They completely went over my head. There was no emotional development with that character. He was literally a walk-on character. The villain had more. You know how much emotional weight would have been if he was the main guy and felt something? I didn't even remember his name until you just said this right now. That's just kind of sad.
Go ahead.
Yes, Abe.
I believe there's if I'm not mistaken, I read there that there's a whole bunch of storyline about him that was cut from the movie. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I read that.
Maybe we should get a direct cut of this.
These movies need. You know what these movies need? They need character actors. And that's why the first one worked, because Ken Watanabe and Bryan Cranston were there. Sure, Elizabeth Olsen and Aaron Taylor Johnson are good at what they do, but they don't have the charisma of a Samuel Jackson or a Bryan Cranston or a Ken Watanabe. It's like you need these people that do not take the word seriously. They're all enough. They've done everything. They want to just have fun shooting movies, and that was Samuel Jackson brought to Skull Island, and that's why I liked it better than most of them.
Or Bradley Whitford in King of the Monsters, which I thought was a really great bit character that he was on there. Like there's like little bit people.
You know, like a John Goodman. John Goodman was in the last one, right? Yeah.
Skull Island.
Yeah. Like those types of actors, like they just there for the fun. You don't need these dramatic things. You know, there's two huge things fighting. There's no way that's possible. You know how many calories those things will need to consume just to move an arm?
Yeah, good point.
Like you do not need to take this seriously. Like just have fun with it.
And just go off, Abe. You know, people like, how did Kong grow in size? Well, he was a kid in Kong's Skull Island. This is 30 years later.
Yeah, it said so.
Of course, he's going to grow. He's going to grow because he's been eating and whatnot. He's like Abe said, you know, the calories. So you have to keep eating. What are you going to do? You're going to grow. He was just a child in Kong, so of course he's going to grow. But there's also a contrived way he quote unquote might grow as well. It's like, really, that's what you're going to do to help get him to grow?
I never thought about that when I was watching. Never thought about that. I was thinking about that like 2 days ago. Did that motherfucker grow?
Yeah, he had to grow because Godzilla's so much bigger than he was in Skull Island.
But I never thought about that. You just take it for granted. Sure, they're gonna fight. They're gonna be almost the same size.
Yeah.
It's just underwhelming. Could have been better. Manning, you're muted.
Yep, I sure am. So what I was going to say is that I'm looking at some of the stuff and I'm reading some of these is that a lot of stuff apparently was cut. Like you had characters that were completely cut. Jessica Henwick was in it. For those who know, she's from Iron Fist. Zhang Zai, I can't remember her name. Zhang Zai. She was from King of the Monsters. They cut her completely out. Lance Reddick comes out of nowhere. Apparently he had a bigger part in it as well. I think this shows that a lot of stuff was cut. Why was it cut? I don't know, because you could have, this was the shortest one, easily put in a couple more stuff in here to maybe, I don't know, just give us something more. I feel like it feels like something was missing. And whether it felt like there was, how do I say this? They were in this weird thing where it was too much plot and not enough action in some parts, or they needed more plot and more action, which would make them, they need to either put more on there or take more away. Because there were too much confusing Journey to the Center of the Earth type of stuff. Also, I want to highlight the name of the young deaf girl is Kaylee Hottie, which is, her name is Jaya. Which I think she was the best mainly because she didn't have to. She got to interact with the character, with the actual monsters, which I think that's when the characters they shine, is when they get to interact with them and you get to see all that emotion.
I just want to ask, Dad, do you watch the movie in the theater or do you watch it at home?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a screener on Monday. I had to watch it Monday so I could review it. So I saw it on my computer.
I watched it. I watched it at the theater and I still feel the same. I just want to make
that's saying something.
Well, I have a 70-inch TV, and I try to smart cast it to my 70-inch TV, and I couldn't do it. So I had to watch it on my laptop.
Oh no, yeah, I watched it on a movie screen, and it was still underwhelming. Just want to make it clear.
Yeah, it's an underwhelming film, but I am happy that it is doing very well. Malcolm, thank you for putting this in the chat. He did this, which is domestically, it is right now at 20, a little under 28,000 or 2,800. Wait, is that 20,000? Yeah, 2,800. Yeah, 28,000. And then worldwide right now it is a little above. Or international right now it is 100,000 to 123,000. And altogether, it's 151,000 that it's making so far.
Probably cost 200.
Don't you mean 151 million, not 1,000?
Yep, that's what I meant. Seeing those zeros, it's just the zeros. It like messes with my brain because it's like, wait a minute, I took math, I should know this, but I can't recall. But so far, it is doing very well and is crushing pandemic performances so far. If this was a normal, I guess we're not in a pandemic, then this would not be great. But considering where we were, this is probably something that they were looking forward to transpiring, and now we got it. What we have here today.
Looks like it could cross the 200 million mark, but what was the budget?
200 million. But also they're probably getting in because I just got HBO Max so I could see this. Think of all the subscriptions they're going to get in the long term because people wanted to see this since they couldn't see it on the big screen. That's also something we need to factor in. Malcolm, you're going to say something?
I was about to say is before this, the movie that was had a really good box office opening in cinemas was Tom and Jerry. That was back earlier in the year.
February.
Yeah.
All Warner
Brothers
Brothers
strategy is working. Oh no, just
what was that, Abe?
That Warner Brothers strategy is working. Like they're releasing with the theater and HBO Max, and it's working. People are going still. Like probably it's gonna take a long time before you see a $100 million opening, but those 30s, 40s, 50s.
Maybe Black Widow. Maybe Black
Widow. Maybe you have to go into Black Widow, or maybe Fast and the Furious, which I doubt.
Or maybe James Bond.
If they didn't have HBO Max, it would be interesting to see what those numbers would be like, whether it'll be higher as well.
That's true. Well, but I think I'm making a prediction. We may not see a $100 million opening this year. Maybe depends on how the pandemic goes. That's a possibility.
I don't think we'll see it at all because like HBO Max is doing this whole hybrid HBO Max theater release. Disney Plus is doing that a premiere access for Black Widow now, as well as having it in theater. What is similar to what they're doing with Wire. So I don't think I'm going to see $100 million this year, but once everyone's vaccinated and all that, and next year we'll probably start seeing that big numbers again.
Well, September and October, a lot of movies are coming out in theaters only.
Mm-hmm.
And Dune is a Christmas movie. So that's only getting a theatrical release. They made a deal with Warner Brothers Legendary because they didn't want to get sued. Legendary was about to get sued. So Dune is only coming out in theaters, and hopefully by then things will be back to normal. And that could be one, but we got Venom, we got Shang-Chi, we got Bond, we got Kingsman. We got so many movies coming out in September and October that they're cramming those 2 months full of movies, hoping to get a full theatrical run. So you never know.
Mm-hmm. Bond could do gangbuster numbers if it sets to that original date and we continue with the trend we see right now with the high rate of vaccinations and stuff starting to open back up. If we continue that trend, then we more than likely might see a good number when it comes to James Bond around that time. I don't think Black Widow, with the trajectory where we are now, I don't think we're going to have just enough. It's going to come out. If it pushed it back, maybe not until August. Maybe August and September is when we're going to start to get those stuff coming back on. Personally, I think that might be the case.
August is a bad month because kids are going back to school. Parents are kind of getting back into the school.
Oh, I forgot about that. School. I forgot about school.
Eternals comes out in November. So Eternals could be that movie that could get $100 million.
I think if we're going to have any $100 million, it's going to be something later this year, like November, December type of time. But until then, we're probably going to be good.
Yeah. But anyway, Abe, was Kong versus Godzilla better or worse than Mamma Mia? Here we go again.
Oh Lord.
Oh
Lord.
100% better.
It's better. It's better. I give it a little bit more credit than that, right, Abe?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's got.
No, I like Mamma Mia. I like Mamma Mia. I just want to say I like Mamma Mia better. That's one of my favorite fucking movies.
He loves.
No, that second one. Not the first one. I don't like
that much. God Almighty, that was awful.
Shrek 2 and Mamma Mia 2.
Shrek 2. A lot of people love Shrek 2. I hear a lot about how Shrek 2 is people's favorite of the Shrek movies.
I mean, it's either the first or second one that's commonly the favorite of most people.
Yeah,
Well,
it's one of those two. And that's it.
He's my favorite character in the Shrek, Puss in Boots. So I love Puss in Boots movie.
Okay, all right. Tangent aside about Shrek 2 and Mamma Mia 2, because we all know Abe loves to talk about that. You got that shout out today of Mamma Mia 2 and Shrek 2 today, Abe.
I couldn't put money on that.
So in an exclusive for the Hollywood Reporter, the Oscars have announced that the Academy is set to loosen in-person attendance requirement for nominees. They heard us, and we didn't even post our podcast just yet. They did it the day before we posted on a Monday, and here we are. They are officially going to, after a backlash of criticism of having it in person, thinking, hey, with surges in Europe, we may not be able to go. They are trying to find ways to accommodate everyone because we all want them to show up. That'd be the best, but that's not always practical. So they're working with the producers and publicists to find ways to do that. And in this article, which I'm going to read an excerpt from that. The page just refreshed on me. Thanks. Wow, this is great. Okay, so the Academy has apparently heard their worries, and all nominees have been directly contacted and invited to participate in a Tuesday morning Zoom conversation with show producers Steven Soderberg, Stacey Sher, and Jesse Collins, during which they will be given updates about the show, including options to participate remotely. The Hollywood Reporter has learned. So technically speaking, they will actually be able to, if need be, not only will they announce a different they're going to allow an offshoot site in London, which they're going to have at the same time for those people who can't make it, like Anthony Hopkins, Emerald Fennell, Carey Mulligan, whomever is British in the UK. They'll have that there, and I'm not sure what they're going to do for international nominees or short film people who may not be able to make it to LA. But they're going to try to accommodate, and they will have a virtual option available. I think what they're going to do is try their hardest to ensure people are there in person at one of their venues, and they'll allow it like virtually if you can't make it by any means necessary. That said, I think they're going to make sure that people end up at the Oscars regardless, and if you can't be there, they're not going to kick you out and just put a picture. They're going to ensure that you have some access, and I think they're working well with all of the people. But Dan, what is your thoughts on the fact that the Oscars now have heard the cries of these people and are adapting accordingly?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last Sunday. We're basically all trying to come up with a way that they could do it remotely in different time zones, and that's what really makes sense. And I was thinking, the Royal Albert Hall, that would be a great location because England's 5 hours ahead of the East Coast, and the East Coast is 3 hours ahead of the West Coast. So that's an 8-hour difference. You just start things in a way where it could suffice it to where all the locations can get to the location and be there able to accept an award. Yeah, you might not be able to actually hold an award in your hand. Maybe just mail each location one where people can just get up and hold that one. That's not the actual award that they're going to be taking home, but you have a chance to stand there and give a speech. To me, that is one of the best parts of the award show, is getting up there and listening to these people speak and thank the people that were involved in their movie, thank their families, thank their co-stars, so forth and whatnot, their director. That is what we need in the Academy. You don't need with a bunch of pictures and maybe the person that wins is live and maybe the person that wins isn't live. That's such a crapshoot that it's not really fun. That's for us Oscar people that love the awards and love watching the awards. It wouldn't be fun for us to watch them. I mean, I can understand not being able to get over to this country, but we should be able to figure a way to get those people in a room with cameras and have a kind of a BBC and American co-broadcast of the thing somehow, because a lot of times, like, I'm a sports fan, and I know you live in North Carolina, and you probably might have to cover sports, even though you're not a sports fan. They get like local affiliates, like the NCAA tournament. They'll get local affiliates, their camera crews, to cover some of these sporting events for like CBS or TBS or TNT for the NCAA tournament, because there's so many games going on every day. or you know what I mean, or baseball. Sometimes local affiliates have to cover some of these baseball games, or vice versa. And so I think you could do something with the cameras and getting British camera people and producers and people to help produce the show from over there, and obviously have the American ABC and whoever over here do it over here. And I think it's great. I think that's what people want. Give people what they want. Don't give them something that's bad, because then people are just gonna have a sour taste in their mouth.
I think that's really wise. No one wants a sour taste in their mouth for the biggest, what should be to me the biggest award show of the year. I want to give a quick. We talked about before that Vanity Fair had an article as an interview with Steven Soderberg about their vision, and I'm reading now with the Hollywood Reporter to verify that, because they released it on April 1st. But apparently, when Soderberg talked about being more cinematic, this is actually what he was saying. He explained that the producers are working on making the ceremony as visually impressive as possible, shooting it in widescreen, 24 frames per second, which is a cinematic quality that they're doing it. They're not going to do it in the traditional 30 frames per second you may see, or maybe 60 frames per second. They are going to do it, and he says they'll have an opening that will, quote, it is going to make your knees buckle, end quote. So I'm excited, Abe, with this new knowledge that we now have of how they're going to be doing things. Are you now excited? Also, they're also having a hub in Paris, London, and LA at this time. Those are the 3 venues that they have at this moment, and they might add some other ones, but that is apparently very fluid from what Soderbergh is telling us. But Abe, what's your thoughts?
That gets me excited. I don't know if the first time like a film director like Soderbergh is directing the Oscars. I will have to think about that. Well, I won't have to look that up, because I have no idea who directed the Oscars, honestly.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Like, they're trying to do something different. Maybe they work. Maybe they, as I don't know if we were mentioning this before the show started, but they're trying to please the the people that watch the Oscars, and I guess with that will also please the regular audience that. Well, probably they watch most of the films, because most of them are in streaming for free now. Yeah, seems exciting. I don't, and as of, I mean, they did the right move, honestly. Like, there's not anything else to say. It's like, you're trying to get the most celebrities on screen as you can, maybe on Zoom, on Paris. You say Paris, LA, and what else?
Paris, LA, and London.
Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. Like, you can have the people from, I don't know where the nominees, the international nominees are, but you know, it's easier to fight between the what's the name, the
EU?
Europe Union, yeah, the EU.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking the name in Spanish, sorry. Than it is to fly cross Atlantic, cross Atlantic and cross United States.
See, what I think they have the Paris one is because now that London or England is no longer in the EU, they're having that as an option for those people who are in the EU, because I know it's easier to travel between.
That's right.
Yes, that's what I think it is.
Thing ever.
Well, and I don't think, regardless, I don't think you can travel to London at all at the moment. The restrictions and all that, and
exactly. So that's why I think they're going to have that hub there for people who are already there. They're going to try to make sure it's all fun and dandy. But Malcolm, what are your thoughts?
I mean, this was bound to happen. Like, there really isn't much more to say to everyone. That's anything different, but I completely forgot Steven Soderberg was directing this. And I just want to ironic that the director of the movie Contagion is the one directing the first Oscars in the pandemic.
You were right.
Yeah. Contagion, very good movie, I might add.
So good. But I know that you, Malcolm, you were someone who was like, you want to try to make sure everyone is in as much as possible. Do you think this is like the happiest medium that we can find? Like, we're going to make sure you get here and try have these different venues and etc. Work with the people. They're going to cover travel costs too if you need to pay something. So the Oscars is actually going to work with you. Do you think this is the best happy medium to be able to find?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the best thing that you can do with this. I mean, like, as they probably saw from Emmys that having a full on Zoom awards didn't work as good. But doing it this way works because at least it's going to look like that, regardless they're still in the theatre, no matter what.
What I find interesting too is that Soderbergh says something really cool in the same Hollywood Reporter article. He says, Those who can make it to the ceremony in Union Station will experience an Oscars unlike any other. Quote, "We've turned it into kind of a cocktail party, essentially," end quote, Soderbergh said. He elaborated, quote, "Nominees will be rotated throughout the evening so we don't exceed the limit in the main road," end quote. So nominees who have been rotated out will move to one or two adjacent courtyards where the pre- and post-show will also take place. Those, quote, "will be fun," end quote. So it's apparently going to be very cinematic, very kind of rotating. This is going to be interesting because this is not in their usual Dolby Theater. This is in Union Station. I don't know what they're doing or how they're going to do it, and I don't know where the one in Paris and London is going to be. But from what I've heard before, this just kind of seems they're actually working with a COVID-19 consultant, someone named Dr. Aaron Bromage of Dartmouth. So I'm curious at how this is going to play out. You guys have any other thought? Oh, yes.
Well, I mean, I think this rotating thing is because it only, if it's anything like the restrictions that we had over here with venues and events, you can only have a certain amount of people in the theatre. Like, you can only have gatherings up to 100 inside, but you can have people sort of waiting outside. So it looks like what they're doing here is having the maximum people they can have inside the actual theatre where the ceremony is taking place. But then they've got the courtyards they can have for people there. Then rotating them around is going to make sense because otherwise, if you're outside when your awards being called, it's like, we're just waiting with this, biding time, coming up, run.
I was like, "Hello, yay, I won. I can't make it, but can you cut to me?"
Oh no, it would be just the presenter stalling while they wait for him to just walk through all the courtyards.
That would be pretty fantastic. For those of you who watch the Grammys, they did something similar. Every time they were about to announce an award, they made sure that those people who were nominated were in that little area that they had, so they could follow something along those lines. I think that's going to work really well because I actually really enjoyed. While it could be messy at times, the Grammys had a really good job, and I wish they did more awards live. But I guess they want performances more. But that's neither here nor there. I think following in the footsteps of that is a very smart move because that will give people live reactions. It'll make people, it'll allow rotation, something fresh, something exciting. And I'm looking forward to something along those lines. I'm curious at how they're going to go about the announcements now. Are they going to do it like they usually do in the past? Like supporting actors sometimes is usually first. Are they going to start with the big ones? They can start with the small ones. But Dan, you had your finger up.
No, yeah. They rotate each year which one is best supporting actor or best supporting actress. Because they want people to be sitting down, watching the awards at the beginning. So if we give one of the big actor awards away, people will be sitting and they'll be watching. We'll get those ratings right off the bat.
They had better not do supporting actress first. I want them to wait as much as possible for supporting actress because that's the fun one.
That's going to be the one that could be the most contentious of all because you just really don't know. I mean, I've been watching some things, some people doing their prognostications and it's going back and forth whether it's Meryl's year. I mean, Glenn Close's year or not.
Which we're going to actually find out because right now that is a smooth transition over on to SAG. So I'm going to try my hardest to get this up before on Easter morning, which is today is Saturday. Tomorrow will be Sunday. I'm going to try to get up that morning. If not, I don't even have a thumbnail yet, so I can't guarantee it's going to transpire, but we're going to try our darndest. I think this is going to be actually an incredibly consequential SAG. Since it's already been recorded, they pre-recorded it, and apparently it was like Wednesday or something they recorded it. So right now they're cutting it down to about an hour telecast on Easter Sunday. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen because right now these people have already have their SAGs. The people have won. We just don't know who has won just yet. So we're going to give our thoughts on who we think is going to win SAG, even though by all technicalities, the winners are already out there, and there might have been some quote-unquote leaks, but I have avoided all said leaks. Dan, you had your finger up again.
I did see one leak.
Dan, no!
What it is now. Honestly, I swear to you, I cannot remember what it is. So I have no idea where I saw the leak or what the leak was, but I did see a leak, and I don't know what it is. So don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything.
The thing is, like, I've seen people fake leak. Like, someone says, Jared Leto wins supporting actor. No, it's not happening.
No, I actually saw a video. I don't know, maybe it's a fake video. I don't remember what it was though. My mind is so, I blanked it out. Whatever it was, I have no clue.
Good.
Don't worry about it.
Forget about it. The force blow it from your mind. We're going to try to give our best guesses as to who could be the winners of this really interesting SAG. So I will start backwards this time. So we're going to start with Malcolm. Malcolm, actually, no, we're going to start with this. We're going to start with each particular category is what we're going to go for. So we're going to start with stunt ensemble. Actually, let me actually get SAG up because I have failed to do as such, and I'm a bad host because I have not gotten this up. So whoopsie daisy. But I'm going to keep stalling just like they would if they had to get someone over from the other courtyard. So, hi, how are y'all? Good to hear from you. Yep.
But I just watched the Space Jam 2 trailer today. It looked awesome. I'm
so excited. It looks so much fun.
Yeah, and Zendaya is voicing Lola Bunny.
Yeah, I just found that out. Interesting. It was really interesting. All right. So we're going to start off with the easy one, which is outstanding performance by a stunt ensemble in a motion picture. We have Da 5 Bloods, Mulan, News of the World, Trial of the Chicago 7, and Wonder Woman 1984. One of these things is not like the other. Why is Trial of Chicago 7 there? Still, I don't understand. The riot, I guess.
The rioting. But then I found out a lot of the rioting was footage. How they use that footage in documentary archival footage. So
yeah.
But there was a lot of action in the rioting. I will say, guys are being punched, guys are fighting with police, they're doing stuff, there's marching. I don't know.
This seems weird.
I don't know. Maybe they had stuntmen in the courtroom for every time they had to walk to the podium because it's dangerous doing that.
Don't want them to trip. We got to make sure we have a body double walking.
Or Mateen, Mateen gets held back by police. There's some stunt work there.
All stunt work right there. It just kind of seems like really an underwhelming nomination. Like, really? That's anyway.
If it wins, I don't know what SAG's doing.
I don't know what SAG is doing. No,
that's not.
Which I think we're all in agreement. It's going to be one of the two actual action-oriented films. I personally am going to go with Wonder Woman 1984, but it could totally be Mulan as well too. In fact, I might switch it over by the time you guys give me your opinions, Dan. Or actually, sorry, I was going to start backwards. Malcolm, what do you have winning stunt ensemble?
I mean, I actually think it could be Da 5 Bloods. It's one of those ones with war movies. The stunts are always quite good. I mean, I didn't think the stunts in Wonder Woman 84 were good. I mean, the action set pieces. So I kind of don't see that winning stunt, but I kind of want to be wrong. But I'm sticking with Da 5 Bloods.
All right, so Abe, what are you having for the stunt ensemble?
I was thinking Wonder Woman 1984, but then I thought about it, and I also think Da 5 Bloods. I don't know, something just itched me right now about that. Well, not right now, a couple seconds before Malcolm said it. I just want to say it. I was thinking about but I'm not thinking Wonder Woman because, well, if can I just say something? And I know it's gonna sound so very lame, but there was a really good action movie at the beginning of last year, and it's called Bad Rules for Life. And whatever you want to say, like, oh, it's fun, whatever you want to say, the action was pretty great, and there were pretty great stunts in the film. So it's like when you ask, are you really watching all the films? Do you take in consideration everything? Yeah, but I'm sensing 5 Bloods.
I like the hot take. Dan.
Yeah, I'm not going to go out on a limb with this one too much. There were some amazing action sequences, whether you like it or you don't like it, in Mulan. And the amount of people involved in that stuff was massive. And the budget was huge. I think it's Mulan.
You're right. There's a lot more people in Mulan actually doing stunt work. So I'm actually going to switch it over to Mulan. You're right. I think it's the most flashy one in comparison to all the other ones. But The Five Bloods is a nice take. I like that one. But in the News of the World and Chicago 7 are just happy to be there. For outstanding performance by a female actor in a supporting role, we have Maria Bakalova, Borat's subsequent movie film, Glenn Close, Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman, The Father, Yoo Jung-yeon, Minari, Helena Zingle, News of the World. I think this is a close race between three people. I think it's Yoo Jung-eun and Maria Bakalova. And then the outside chance of Glenn Close coming in and being like, it's time for my Oscar, ladies and gentlemen. Malcolm, what do you think?
I've got Maria Bakalova winning.
That's smart.
I mean, it's I still haven't got around to seeing Hillbilly Elegy yet, but I do think Maria Bakalova's got the momentum, and I think it's one of those ones that seems like everyone wants her to win now. Like
Good story.
Yeah.
And A, what about for you?
I'm also thinking Maria. I have not watched Hillbilly Ellie, Minari, or The Father, because I want to watch The Father after this ends. No,
Nice.
I want to watch it in the theater. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but I'm thinking Maria. I think she's the front runner right now. I would not be surprised at all if Glenn Close ends up winning, or if she doesn't win right now, wins the Oscar. But I'm thinking Maria too.
And Dan?
Yeah, Glenn Close has won a SAG before. So if she doesn't win this, it's not a big deal. So I see Maria Bakalova winning this, or Yoon Jun-yoon. I think the big one for Glenn Close is the Academy Award. That's the one you got to pay attention for her. This one really doesn't matter in the overall scheme of things.
No, that's actually a good observation. And I'm going to go, I think Maria Bakalova is the safe choice as well, too, because she has the momentum, because she's the only one that's gotten nominated in all the big things. But I'm going to go with Yoo Jung-eun merely because I want to be contrarian. Let's do this. Let's have something different and fun. Let's just do it. But all right, outstanding performance by a male actor in a supporting role. We have Sacha Baron Cohen, Trial of the Chicago 7, Chadwick Boseman, The Five Bloods, Daniel Kaluuya, Judas and the Black Messiah, Jared Leto, The Little Things, and Leslie Odom Jr., One Night in Miami. I think we can almost all agree that this is basically the most secured win, I guess, of all the categories. Maybe, Dan's disagreeing with me. I think it's actually Daniel Kaluuya, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was, Chadwick Boseman taking this is a possibility, mainly because, I'll get into actor a bit later, but Chadwick Boseman taking this is an option. But I just still see it's Daniel Kaluuya. We'll work our way backwards again. Dan, what do you think?
I thought you said another award, so that's why I said it. Maybe. Yeah, no, you're right. This is one of the most obvious ones. Daniel Kaluuya. I'm right with you. I forgot that Chadwick Boseman was in this category on the SAGs.
Either way, I think Chadwick Boseman is going to be winning an award tonight. Whether he wins this one and then loses another one, or wins the other one and loses this one. Abe, what about you?
I agree with you guys. I think it's gonna be Daniel Kaluuya. I don't see anybody taking it. Well, if I see somebody, because it's SAG, probably Sacha Baron Cohen, but I totally doubt it. I think Kaluuya has been working his way up since 2018 when he was nominated for it.
He got it for Get Out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's been like he has put the work in the award season, and now this is paying off, I guess.
And Malcolm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I think it's Daniel Kaluuya. But I've after seeing Judas a few weeks ago, it's just an amazing film. I would argue I think Daniel should be the lead, to be honest. But
I
mean, that's a debate people I know have had of like, why aren't they co-leads or something, and blah 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 blah. But he's here, and he's going to he's going to probably win. And again, I only say Chadwick Boseman only if he loses another one, because I think, again, he's walking away with the SAG regardless. All right. Outstanding performance by a female actor in a leading role. We have Amy Adams, Hillbilly Elegy, Viola Davis, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Vanessa Kirby, Pieces of Woman, Frances McDormand, Nomadland, and Carey Mulligan, Promising Young Woman. I'm curious about this one because there's a good chance, maybe outside of like Amy Adams, obviously, but there's a good chance that 4 of these women, maybe not Vanessa Kirby, but there's a good chance either way that any one of these people could win. There's a higher percentage of any one of these people winning than I think any other category. Dan, was this the category that that you were like maybe, or was that the best actor you were thinking of?
Yeah, best actor. I was thinking I could be a contrarian on, but this one, I mean, this is a stacked group. Why did Amy Adams get nominated? That's very curious. Would they just out of nowhere give this to Amy Adams?
No.
I mean, like, why is she in here? Because that movie's getting absolutely trashed, and her performance over the top, too much acting. I mean, I don't know. Maybe actors like a little bit of too much acting. Who knows? But I'm going with Carey Mulligan here.
Mm-hmm. See, well, the thing is, let me just say, if Amy Adams had won this, then it'd just be like, what the heck is going on? Like, legit, what is going on with the awards season if that would be the case? I highly see it because she's nominated nowhere else. It would be the weirdest thing. If she won and Glenn Close did not, I give up on the podcast. I give up. I don't know anything. Abe, what about you?
I happen to agree with oh my god, I just totally forget her name. Carey Mulligan. I think she's winning BAFTA. I think we can pretty much, she's British.
She's not nominated for BAFTA.
Oh my god, she's not?
She's not. Is it
stupid?
In her own country, she's not nominated. Maybe
it's weird.
Maybe they didn't see the movie.
It's weird. But only people who are nominated from this group is Vanessa Kirby and Frances McDormand.
Now I feel way stupid. How come she's not nominated? That's
they have the committees. It's the weird thing.
She'll be nominated next year. Watch this.
Oh, okay. I thought the movie was eligible and she was okay.
No, they got what's her name from Clemency on this year's grouping.
Alfred Woodward,
Yep.
Which came out last year for us, whoever it's not. But a lot of people Clemency. So like Malcolm, movies. Go ahead, Malcolm.
Wait, hold on. Go ahead, Malcolm.
Clemency might have only just come out in Britain this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I
think it's gonna be Carey Mulligan.
Well, maybe
I'm kind of mad right now.
So.
Okay, so Promising Young Woman did get 5 nominations at BAFTA, but it missed out for Carey Mulligan for some strange reason. It missed out on director and actress.
Bleep! You gotta bleep that.
Oh yeah, I gotta go do it through this. Okay, so I see. The thing is, remember they had committees doing acting and director, so it was a small group of committees who did this, and somehow they did not nominate her. So does that bode well for Frances McDormand and Vanessa Kirby? I don't know, because who in the world wins BAFTA Best Actress?
Well,
I don't know.
The British actor is Vanessa Kirby, so makes sense. And also,
does Vanessa Kirby come out of nowhere?
I just watched that film this week. She was really good. That movie,
but
she was really good.
That first half hour is rough.
Yeah,
it's very rough, in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Malcolm, what about you? Who do you think's winning?
For actress.
Yes.
I've got Carey Mulligan winning. I think it's kind of the obvious choice.
I agree. It is the obvious choice, basically based upon the fact that the movie has the momentum, she has the overdue factor, and I can't see Frances McDormand winning a 3rd Oscar. And Viola Davis could win, though. I could see that happening. They would have to really love Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which we'll get into. But I still think it's Frances. I think it's Carey Mulligan, with the outside chance of Viola Davis, because that'd be crazy. And then finally, outstanding performance by a male actor in a leading role: Riz Ahmed, Sound of Metal; Chadwick Boseman, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom; Anthony Hopkins, The Father; Gary Oldman, Mank; and Steven Yeun, Minari. Your Oscar 5 as well.
Yeah, this is where, Manning, I think that they could legitimately give this to Anthony Hopkins. And I know this is probably where Chadwick is going to win because they want to give him this one award posthumously, and they're not going to give it to him in supporting. Daniel's got that. But I'm telling you, keep an eye out for this in the Oscars and here for Anthony Hopkins. Now that the father's out, more people are seeing it, and the word is getting out. But the father was at Sundance. A lot of writers have known about this for a year. It's the actors and the people in the Academy that haven't had a chance to see the father because they weren't all sitting at Sundance when it came out. It just came out in theaters now. So the screeners are getting out to people. Keep an eye out for Anthony Hopkins. That's all I'm saying. But I feel like SAG's going to give this to Chadwick Boseman.
I agree 100% with what you just said. If anything, Anthony Hopkins is definitely number 2 in my mind. He seems to be, at least, because the father has come out at the right time. It's building momentum, and this could be. I could see him just winning SAG. I could see him winning. I could see him just winning SAG because he has not won a SAG. Because SAG was not invented, was not established when Silence of the Lambs came out. So he has not gotten that win just yet under his belt. But I still think this is Chadwick. If we're going conventionally, this has to be Chadwick. This is Chadwick's year for all the work that he's done with a very good performance. And the rest are just happy to be there. Malcolm, who do you think?
Yeah, I do think this is Chadwick's award to lose. Although in saying that, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a bit of a twist at the SAG. And so I think if Chadwick ends up doing the upset and winning supporting actor, then I think somebody else wins this.
Yes.
And Chadwick's not nominated for an Oscar for supporting, so that kind of upset can't happen there. But the thing may end up being an upset here, because like they want to give Chadwick one of these.
Yeah, and if enough people saw The Father, they'd be like, "Ooh, I really want to award Anthony Hopkins, but I want to award Chadwick. Oh, he's in supporting. Let me do that for supporting then, and then give it to Anthony Hopkins and lead." I think that is a real possibility. I don't think it'll happen, but I think it's something we need to keep in the back of our mind. What about for you, Abe?
I was gonna mention before you guys started talking about an upset and everything. This is a category where I'm pretty sure who's winning. Like I don't see any doubt that Chadwick's winning. Like he has winning everything. He has the momentum, and I mean the narrative that is there, which I think is kind of disrespectful saying like that. The narrative is there, so I do not see anybody upsetting him. I see the momentum, like Anthony Hopkins saying, because as Dan mentioned, like people are starting to see it and people are starting to reacting to it. And from what I see on Twitter, it's like he's great. And I'm gonna say it right now in about an hour, and I'll tell you what I think. But
put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
Yes, let us know.
Yeah. So I don't see anybody upsetting him. Like whatever I think, this is the one lock. If you may ask me, I think this is a lock one.
And I don't think it's far-fetched to consider this one a locked as well too. I guess we're looking for a possibility of where it could go off the walls, but again, we'll have to wait and see. And finally, outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture. Our final one before we start to wrap up. We have Da 5 Bloods, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Minari, One Night in Miami, and Trial of the Chicago 7. Malcolm, who's winning?
For ensemble, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But
Pick one.
that's getting there. Look, I mean, this is one of those ones that I think it's going to go one of two ways. I think it might actually be Da 5 Bloods, because I mean, I don't know what the history of what's won on that, but I think it seems to be the one that's got the most actors in it. So I think they may go with the Da 5 Bloods because of that. But I think it could also be Trial of Chicago 7 as well. But yeah.
Is there a possibility that Da 5 Bloods wins, Chadwick wins for supporting actor, and then he also wins for lead actor, and he gets 3 SAGs on the night? Is that a possibility, or is that nah?
I mean,
Because
it's a possibility that could happen at the SAGs. I mean,
You're right. I don't think it is, but that's just an idea. Dan, you're shaking your head, but I know you don't agree. But who's winning regardless, do you think, in this?
Okay, I'm just going to name off 10 actors that are in Trial of the Chicago 7. Michael Keaton, Frank Langella, Eddie Redmayne, Sacha Baron Cohen, Yahya Abdul-Mateen. I only could name 5, but what's his name? Dang it. There's so many that I want to name here.
There's a lot.
The guy from Succession. God, I can't. There's so many actors. Mark Rylance.
John Carroll Lynch.
Johnny Carroll Lynch. That's 7. There's so many actors in this movie. That Joseph Gordon-Levitt. There's 8. There's so many actors in this movie that you gotta give it to them. Is this going to win the Academy Award for Best Picture? No, this is not going to happen. I'd be shocked if it did. This is what SAG does. They love giving the award to Best Ensemble Cast to the biggest cast. Malcolm's favorite buddy, Peter Jackson, the biggest cast. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, massive cast. They just love doing that. So all these actors will now say, I want a SAG, and that's why it's got to be Trial of the Chicago. Go ahead, Malcolm.
Yeah. Well, no, I was about to say, I'm going to bounce back on what Dan said about the biggest cast, because I actually went back a few times. Like last year, for example, the biggest cast was arguably Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That lost to Parasite.
Sometimes
it's true.
It does happen sometimes. But there was a big cast of Parasite. You got to remember the poor family, the rich family, the servants. Mm-hmm. That was a pretty big cast in Parasite. Not as huge as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, probably, but a big cast. And they were all Korean or whatever. They're all Asian.
Yeah, but also, Trial of the Chicago 7 is the true ensemble. You have to think about that. When I think about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think Leo and Brad Pitt. That's what I think. Yeah. I don't think the whole group. When I think Trial of the Chicago 7, I think the whole group. Even Black Panther. Like Black Panther ensemble, and you think Chadwick Boseman and everything.
Look at that cast. Look at that ensemble in Black Panther.
But you have you have Lupita, you have Michael B. Jordan, you have people in the
Forrest Whitaker.
You have big dogs there. Yeah, if I can see anything upsetting. Oh my God, I'm just talking.
Trial
of the Chicago 7. I would think Minority. I have no watching. I actually bought it and I have no watch. It was $20. Thank you, Joe Biden, for that stimulus check.
Good job. Way to put the money to good use, Abe. That's good money. That's money to good use there with Minari. I'm telling you right now.
If I was to say one can upset, it's Minority, because it feels the one that's sample. I don't see the 5 plots because, it only has Chadwick Boseman and it has no plots at all. Pretty much anything. But yeah, I agree with that totally. It's gonna be Trial of the Chicago 7. And if it is, I will bend you, every single one of you, $1.
You do this a lot with your $1, and I haven't seen yet anything, but I also forget right after we record what your bets are, so we need to make a tally.
I mean, I went back a few years just to see any interesting trends. In 2014, this is what was nominated: Birdman, Boyhood, Grand Budapest Hotel, The Imitation Game, and Fear of Everything. What do you think won?
Birdman?
Well, yeah. I mean,
I had a big cast.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at the cast they actually list, the Grand Budapest Hotel's got the bigger cast.
Yeah, they do.
That's true.
But thinking that Birdman won makes sense, though, because it won Best Picture. It was the movie that was winning everywhere. So it makes sense. But it did have a pretty big cast. It was a lot of people.
No, but also it was nominated in 3 categories. He got 2 Best Supporting Actors and the Best Actor category.
2 Best Supporting Actors?
Well, Edward Norton and Emma Stone.
That's what I'm saying. So, yep. No, I mean, obviously Grand Budapest had the bigger cast. I would have loved to have seen Grand Budapest win. But, I know what you're saying, Malcolm. You're saying that sometimes the biggest cast doesn't always win. That's basically what your point is. I completely understand that.
And I think Parasite winning showed me that it's not always the bigger cast, it's not always the biggest name brand cast. It's the one with the momentum, and Parasite had the momentum. The Five Bloods to me has no momentum because it kind of died off, that sadly, all that buzz. If it won, it'd be a resurgence and be like, hey, we really want this to get the love that it should have deserved all those months ago. But I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure we can all agree. I think Trial of Chicago 7, with the upset chance maybe of Minari, if that wants to come out of nowhere and get it, that's a possibility I can see happening. But I'm going to go safe and go with Trial of Chicago 7. And I think that is how we wrap up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this episode of Gone with the Wind. Hopefully I get this up before Sunday. If not, you're listening to this Tuesday. Haha, I failed. Whoops. Thank you guys again. Where can the people find you, Dan?
You can always find me at Dan Skip Allen on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. Also, I'm a film critic in Orlando, Florida area. And I've got a lot of reviews that I've been writing in the last week or so. There's a lot of variations of different things that if you want to go read my reviews. Also, I write for my own blog from the fourth row at wordpress.com. So disappointmentmedia.com or from the fourth row at wordpress.com. Also, I have 2 YouTube shows, Top 5 Weekly, where right now I'm currently doing Academy Awards themed month of episodes, and Bleacher Features, which comes out in the summer, which will start in June. It'll be a summer series about myself and a guest. We talk about a sports movie.
And hey, where can they find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at AbrahamF25, raving about Shrek 2 and Mamma Mia, here we go again. And
You absolutely can. You absolutely can find him raving about that. And where can they find you, Malcolm?
Well, I might go see The Father today, but besides that, you can watch me hosting Rankum every Saturday night. By the time you hear this, I would have done the episode on Top 12 WrestleMania entrances. If you haven't watched that, then go watch it. Late Night will be coming back. We're just in the process of finalizing dates and restructuring things, but it is coming back, and it'll be better than ever.
Exactly. I'm excited for that. And you can find me at Twitter at Cine_man. That's CINE_MANN. You can't see me. I'm using finger guns right now. And you can find me on my I've had coffee now, so you can see the progression of me kind of being like, yeah. Now I'm just like, look at that empty cup of coffee. Full cup, guys. And you can find me, as I said, on Twitter, as well as my YouTube channel, Manning Franks, as well as here hosting Gone with the Wind, as well as I'm going to make it my mission to appear on a lot more Take 3 podcasts to ensure we have this kind of diversity when it comes to people being on here and representing Take 3. And again, thank you guys for joining us on this episode of Gone with the Wind. Hope you're having a hoppy Easter. Haha, get that? And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.